Hello, Algebra 2ers. You've almost done it. You've almost completed 3 weeks of remote learning while also learning quite difficult concepts in terms of Algebra 2 and triangle trig in Algebra 2. Our last video here has to once again do with law of sines and also law of cosines. And we are going to be using both of these in order to look at application problems, otherwise known as story problems, otherwise known as word problems, otherwise known as the ones you always try to skip. Fair enough. So this video is going towards practice problem number 7 on Khan Academy, where you are going to be looking at general triangles and their word problems. There are only 4 story problems for you to attempt with this lesson. And I will tell you, they're fake applications. I'll insert fake applications because the pictures are drawn for you, which means that that little piece, that little try to figure out what's going on as you look at the information has been taken out of the equation for you. You're welcome, remote learning perk. I would also ask you that if you feel like this, hang in there. This is your last trig lesson and we will switch gears for the next couple of weeks. Stay strong. Be stronger than my dog. I know you can do it. Okay, so I am going to, thinking about time, I'm going to just simply speak the story problem as I try to draw it as best as possible. So the first one is kind of a famous problem that we have always done, which is we are looking at some fire towers. So here's a fire tower. Say you're some sort of a park ranger out west and your station is in one of these towers. These towers are going to be located 10 miles apart. Just kind of spacing you out, looking for your fires. There's going to be a fire, unfortunately, spotted. Here's the fire. And this fire is spotted 42 degrees from Tower A, and Tower B spots the fire 64 at an angle of 64 degrees. And the question is, how far is the fire from Tower B? So we are going to be looking for this distance. As I look at this problem, this is actually a trickier problem than you will see on your own, because what I tend to look for, remember, with law of sines, we are looking for a complete pair. So here's where you're looking for that corresponding situation. I know I have 42, I'm missing the pair, and I'm wondering if I have another complete pair in here, and we actually do, if you remember that all angles of a triangle must add up to 180. So I'm already at 42 plus 64. So I'm already at 108 degrees, which means what I must be left with is a 72 degree angle right here. And if you can remember that little piece of information, there's your complete pair. So I could now use law of sines to figure that out. Notice I'm missing the side. I'm actually missing little a. Oh, look who's perked up. See? Very exciting. So I'm missing little a, which means I am going to keep little a on top. Little a divided by sine 42. It's been a while, which is why I'm doing one of these with you. Divided by little, I guess we can call that little c. This side divided by sine of 72. So using that law of sines now, we are missing side A, which means I need to undo divide by sine of 42. So I'm going to multiply by sine 42. Multiply by sine 42. Oh, I love the law of sines. It's great. Okay, Desmos time. Starting my test. So I am here where I need to input that information. So I'm going to go 10 sine 42. At this point, you guys should be pretty good at finding all your buttons, divided by sine of 72. Okay, so I'm thinking that an adequate answer for this would be 7.03. Again, be careful. We're going to see what we're missing. So you're missing this distance. And in terms of our answer, let's say we're going to round it to the nearest mile. And with an answer of 7.03565555, I'm looking at 7 miles is going to be your answer. So using the law of sines in order to accomplish that story problem. Awesome. Okay, second story problem. So that was law of sines. Second story problem, fake story problem. Again, remember your practice problems for practice problem 7 are going to have the picture drawn for you. Okay, so in our house over break, the girls have been doing lots of dance routines. So let's say that we have a dance routine going and both of my daughters are going to start out at this point together because this is what we've been doing lately. And one of them, they're going to be traveling away from each other at a 15-degree angle. So I gotta make it really small. And let's say that Iris travels a distance of 7 meters. And let's say that Ginger travels a shorter distance. I made that a little long. A shorter distance. And we know that their angle of travel is 15 degrees. So Iris ends up over here. Ginger ends up here. We can call this S because that's their starting point. And what we also know is that they end up 14 meters apart. We also know that Ginger travels only, oh, I lost my piece of paper. She only travels 5 meters. So one of our questions is going to be what angle is created here? Well, once again, I see I've got that complete pair. So I would use law of sines once more for this one. Okay. Okay. Another one might be, let's see, what about 2 ships? This is one of my favorite ones. 2 ships are going to be leaving from port. Let's say that one travels some distance, maybe 142 kilometers. Let's say that the other one travels a shorter distance, maybe, I don't know, 94 kilometers. And let's say that we know that they leave each other at a bearing of 100 degrees. So here we have ship A, here we have ship B. They started at port. The question is going to be, how far apart are they? Now remember, this is going to be drawn for you. So what you're going to have to do here is you're going to have to look to see if you have an opportunity to make a complete pair. If you have a complete pair, you can use law of sines. Here I can see I don't have any opportunity for a complete pair, which means I'm going to be looking for that law of cosines in order to figure out this problem. So I'm missing little p, but I know I have my other two sides, little a and little b, and I know I have the angle p. So on this one, I can set up p squared equals 94 squared. This is that long train where I've got all the riders, says Mr. Foster. And I'm missing that side. This one's my favorite because what's the only thing we have to undo? The squared. There's your square root. And away you go. I'm not going to finish these for you because I've done so many of them. But again, you're going to have to just decide whether you have that complete pair, or if you don't, you're going to be using the law of cosines. You guys are awesome. I'm terribly impressed by you. Absolutely 100%. We are all impressed by you. I can't wait to see what you do here. This is your last practice problem set. I will be happy to walk you through where that is going to be. So here's where we're at. We know that we are working in trigonometry. So here was your trigonometry with right triangles. That was our first week, our review week. Then we moved into law of sines for our second week. Then we did law of cosines earlier this week. Now we're into solving general triangles. So that's the one that you're going to be doing for practice problem number 7. So if I hit that, here's your law of sines. Here's your law of cosines. Again, I did mention that there are proofs for these. If you would like to look at the proofs, if you're curious, they're right here for you. Again, we will be doing that in pre-calculus next year. So here are your story problems. Khan Academy has walked through one trig story problem for you here. It's another video. And then I'm going to click on your story problems. You've got 4 questions. Let's go. And you'll notice that there's a submarine problem, but the photo has been drawn for you. So I'm looking, yours will probably be a little bit different than mine, but on mine, I noticed that there is no complete pair, which means this looks a heck of a lot like the one we just did about 2 ships. So see what you can do. Remember, there's hints here if you do something wrong. So story problems are never the easiest, but we'll see. Okay, have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.